Lori, I guess first of all, the first thing that you should do is just say what it is that you do.
Okay. Do you want me to say my name and everything? Like to introduce myself?
Yeah, sure. People, I say like thank you, Lori Waltz-Gagnon, at the end of like almost every episode of this podcast. So people have definitely heard your name before, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's the person."
A voice to put with the name.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so I'm Lori Waltz-Gagnon. I am the executive director of Leadership Seacoast. We're a local nonprofit, local to the Seacoast of New Hampshire area, and we have been in operation for over 30 years now. We bring together individuals from the community to participate in a 6-month experiential learning program to discuss the areas that impact the sectors that impact every community really across the country. So, topics like arts and culture, and government, and criminal justice, and health and human services are explored over the course of a day. And the goal of the sessions are to bring more knowledge and awareness to the participants. And the goal of the program is to inspire the participants to take action in their local communities and become more civically engaged.
Well, in my case, both boxes, big old check.
You were a star pupil.
Ah, thank you. I didn't bring up my own involvement in the program to get you to say that, but I'm happy that you said it anyway. This is your second program year as the
Mhm.
director, right?
That's right.
And it's a weird one.
Yep.
When coronavirus got really real, you were like, what? Halfway through the program?
Yeah, we have 4 days completed and five left to go. So we had just completed Education Day. There was a little concern, like maybe we should cancel, maybe we shouldn't. At this point, it was like the all the indicators were get creative with your handshakes. So, you know, not we hadn't even started the social distancing, like stand 6 feet apart from people. We were just like, don't shake hands, and we brought a bunch of hand sanitizer. Things quickly evolved after that day to the point where we are now. And so, one thing I didn't mention when I was describing the program is that we don't meet typically virtually. All of our sessions are in person, and we travel from different locations around the Seacoast area. So, for example, we might be in a hospital one day, we might be at the Seacoast Science Center another day, we might be at a school another day. So, this has really impacted our program because it's basically made it impossible for us to continue to deliver the program as we once knew it.
It's amazing how fast this has progressed, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
that the idea that there was a time when we were like, just Purell your hands or whatever seems
Exactly.
impossibly quaint. Like I
Right.
was at the grocery store this morning and it's terrifying.
It is.
And it's only been, it's only been a matter of weeks. It's
Yeah.
so how then did you go about pivoting this experiential in-person person to person location to location program? How did you go about reshaping it for the rest of the year, or is that even what you did?
Yeah. So as information continued to come out and become available, and it became clear that we were not going to be able to continue the program as it had been designed, I immediately started brainstorming about what else we could do. And fortunately, Leadership Seacoast belongs to a national organization that includes other community leadership programs from around the country. So the Leadership Rhode Island organization quickly became sort of our leader across the country, and they started hosting Zoom sessions, and everybody started brainstorming. And we had like more than, I think every session I've been on has had about like 180 to 210 people participating, executive directors from other organizations across the country. And we're all like, what are we going to do? Because we all basically follow the same model. So, you know, I got educated on how to operate Zoom and how that platform could become a tool that we could use. So I started thinking, how could we virtually lead the program days? knowing that there would be a very different outcome, that the connections and information that is shared in the in-person sessions, just there is no way to duplicate that in a virtual setting. But I thought maybe we could have a couple of um, key content experts um, kind of adjust their original presentations to a virtual setting and deliver it that way. And I was, of course, continually checking in with the board of directors about what this was going to look like. And I thought I had hatched a plan. And I delivered my well thought out plan to the class. And the class said, "Boo, we don't want to do this virtually. We want to wait. We want to just suspend the program and pick it back up intact when we are able to." And I said, "Oh, okay. Let me think about that." So uh, it really gave me pause to consider. There was some very emotional emails and phone calls that the members of the class of 2020 were sharing with me, that their worlds have been so turned upside down because of this pandemic, that many of them are, well, some of them are essential workers, so they're still going to work every day, but it's a very different environment, right? And then others are working from home, their spouses are working from home, their kids are being educated at home now, and every day is a struggle, and it's a different struggle every day. And they just want to know that what they know of Leadership Seacoast, what they were the program that they were accepted into, the program that they've paid for and are so excited to be a part of, will be there for them when this is all over. And I felt so humbled and honored that this is having such an impact on these people, that I immediately was like, okay, then we have to change this. We have to figure out a way to just extend the program year. Um, but as you know, Zach, one of the outcomes of the program is connection and building connections with people. So I didn't want for months to pass and not have any connection with the class. So the plan, the approved plan, is that we are going to do virtual sessions to explore servant leadership, which is a component of the program this year. And we will engage in Zoom sessions for 1 hour every other week over the course of the next 2 months, with the hope that by July, we can resume our in person programming and hopefully get the class graduated this fall.
I love that. I had just assumed that you were gonna, sort of pivot to digital sessions,
Hmm.
because the stuff that you're telling me, I mean, hearing about this from a lot of people, like the New Hampshire Theater Project, similarly has been in these giant Zoom sessions with like-minded groups that are
Hmm.
sharing strategies, and everybody's just getting in onto Zoom. Everyone's getting good at Zoom really fast. But it warms my heart too to realize that that's not exactly what's going to happen with Leadership Seacoast, because I mean, I personally, I would have been heartbroken
Mm.
to have lost half of those in-person sessions. I actually felt like when this pandemic hit, I was like, man, I am so glad this is happening in 2020 and not 2019,
That's
because
funny.
I got so much done in 2019,
Yeah.
and everything, having being pregnant and all that other stuff would have been so scary. And there are
Yes.
people in my life that are having children right now,
Yes.
and we're just really hoping that by the time they are like in the hospital, things will be a little more chill. They're like talking about pivoting to digital. I've got pregnant friends who are like meeting with their doctors over Zoom.
Yes. Yes. I know. Isn't it wild? I have a niece who is due on Mother's Day, and she is, I'm not going to lie, she's having a really hard time. She's very scared. To the point that she doesn't know if her husband's going to be allowed in the delivery room. She already has 3 boys at home, so trying to determine who can
Yowza.
take care of them. Yeah, I know. I'm like, can you stop after 4? Are you good now? She's having a girl this time, so she says she's truly done. There's so many. I just actually learned the other day that someone I know has just been diagnosed with breast cancer and is having to go through that right now. There's stories out there that are things are happening to people that I couldn't even imagine. That I just, not in my wildest dreams or nightmares did I ever think that I would be grocery shopping with a mask on. But that's so minor compared to what other people are actually experiencing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, on the note of like the other things that are happening while this giant thing is happening, I thought you'd probably be a good person to commiserate with me on this, because one thing that I have found so frustrating about this pandemic is how every other issue has been sidelined.
Yeah,
Just it's just hard to think about, right? It's hard to think about any other issue that's going on,
it's so
and
true.
I thought about that in terms of Leadership Seacoast. I mean, Health and Human Services Day, obviously, like, would anyone want to talk about anything else?
Right.
If you brought in medical experts to talk about the opioid crisis, wouldn't everyone just want those medical experts to tell them how to wash their hands? And
Exactly.
uh and so it's interesting because as a person with a podcast, right? Like, I am interested in talking about a lot of different issues, but I have sort of made peace with the fact that this is what I have to talk about right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I just noticed this week for me personally that I'm shifting into a mode where I don't wake up with the same kind of pit in my stomach, like, oh my gosh, it's still here. I haven't just been having a really bad nightmare. I wake up and I think I have some sort of expectation of what my day is going to be. And I'm starting to be able to think about things that 2 weeks ago I definitely couldn't think of, things that are not related to COVID. And I've been keeping a gratitude list, and what I was grateful for yesterday was expanded awareness and really being able to take the time to just be still and think about things in a different way. So, how we used to do things maybe worked just fine, but is it the way that it should always be? Or is this our opportunity to kind of retool how we function?